Well, we, along with a number of other countries, we're putting aside we're making an undertaking to lend money to the IMF, a repayable loan. Should there be some kind of global meltdown, and the IMF has to take action to stabilise the global economy. And the reason we're interested in that is because we are one of the most indebted developed countries, and we have quite a big share of our economy is in exports. So we are more at the mercy of global economic forces than a lot of other countries, and we're willing to pay a bit of an insurance premium for that.
But we're having to borrow to lend that money to the IMF, though, aren't we?
Well, we will if they call on it. Okay, so we say the way it works is we commit, in this case, to up to $1 billion US, and then if the IMF does take action, then they give us a call, and we lend them the money on a commercial basis, and they are obliged to repay it.
But if they're calling on us, that means things have really turned to custard. How easy do you think it'll be to borrow $1 billion US?
Well, we think it'll be manageable, and the IMF clearly does, because they take our commitment seriously. But look, if there's some real meltdown, then we can't predict the effects of that. So what we're doing is we believe they'll muddle through. We're sticking to our plan. Our support for the IMF is just one way that we can help to stabilise the global economy, because we are so tied into that economy that when things go wrong, they affect us directly. If we can help the IMF in a very small way to stabilise that global economy, then that's good for us.
Do we get any say in where the money is used or how it is used, in terms of where the IMF puts it?
No, not directly, but we're a small share of the IMF, less than 1%.
We can vote,
but we can make our views known. But in the end, the IMF itself make those decisions.
This takes our total IMF commitments to $4 billion New Zealand dollars. Is that manageable if all our commitments are called on?
Well, if the commitment is called on, it's a repayable loan, so we would be lending to them. The cost to us would be the difference between what we borrow at and what the interest they pay on.
Which can be quite a bit, because they don't pay very much interest.
Well, in the general scheme of things, the difference is unlikely to be large. So yeah, we think it's manageable. The IMF would certainly be repaying. There's no doubt about that. They're a better bet than any number of governments these days.
Do we have any choice in the matter with it? I mean, in terms of our international reputation and our role in the world?
Well, we don't. We have some choice. There's some countries like the US have chosen not to contribute to the IMF, but in our view, as a small country dependent on the stability of the global system for our jobs and incomes, we want to, if we can make what is a relatively small contribution to stabilising the global economy, then there would be a significant payoff for New Zealand families and households.
Was the consideration always for about $1 billion US? Did you want to give them less? Did they ask for more? Did they ask for more and you gave them less?
It's roughly equivalent to our share of the total IMF value, which is less than 1%. So Australia, for instance, has contributed $8 billion. Singapore has contributed $4 billion, and I've discussed that with both the finance ministers of those countries. And so $1 billion is, probably a bit less than they are contributing proportionally.